It's time for another weather rewind on this Friday, where we look back at this past week's weather, but with a twist. And we are looking back at tornadoes that hit Mississippi hard last Friday night, leaving death and destruction through the weekend and a lot of cleanup for this week. With that said, let's rewind. Homes, buildings, and offices were left flattened and battered after multiple tornadoes tore across the northern half of the state. The National Weather Service confirmed an EF4 tornado tore through the two hardest hit counties. And it was confirmed to be an EF4 that would pack winds between 166 to 200 miles per hour. And this was nearly for an hour as it traveled through more than half a dozen towns. At least 25 people were killed and dozens more were injured. Volunteers poured in to help those affected. The recovery efforts are expected to be long and difficult because this is one of the poorest areas in the country. Now, severe weather season is only getting started across much of the nation, and that means we'll have to be on guard soon as well. Now, although Central PA has a much lower risk of tornadoes than, say, the Deep South or the Plain States, it is important to understand the risk on an alert day. You've seen our Fox 43 Weather Smart team show the Storm Prediction Center's risk categories for severe weather, but what does that tell us about the chance for a tornado, damaging winds, or even damaging hail? Well, let's take the slight risk category, for example. It's this yellow one here that's ranked a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. Now, there are probabilities that are issued for each of these storm threats within each of these 5 categories. In this particular example that I'm taking from Monday, there was a 2% tornado risk in much of South Georgia and South Carolina. So what does that mean here in this highlighted area? That means there's a 2% chance of a tornado within 25 miles. The wind probabilities, it's the same idea here. I'll show you this equivalent where there was a 15% chance for damaging wind gusts for much of southern Georgia, and that means that's within 25 miles of any given spot you pick in this highlighted area. The hail probabilities, they're going to tell you exactly the same thing as well. Here along the north central portion of South Carolina, there was a 5% chance of damaging hail. That means that's within 25 miles of any one given spot in the central South Carolina area. Now, although these percentages are usually pretty small, you can't let that make you get complacent. We've gotten a lot of wind and hail damage with 15 to 30% risk areas. That's what a slight means usually for us. And many of our tornadoes in the 2 to 5% risk areas. So although that's small for our area, that's high. And although it's a small area, I should say, that's high relative to other parts of the country. So always be alert. Stay tuned for all of the whys behind the weather wonders that capture our attention each week.